What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to LightSaber Radio, the most outrageous Star Wars show on the web. And we got one hell of a show today because Lucasfilm and Disney smacked us in the fucking mouth today. I swear they did, because they left us on two fucking cliffhangers, had me irritated as shit. Like, what the? Oh, don't stop right there. I want to know what happened.
Yeah, they planned it.
Yeah, it was.
It was good. It was a good plan.
They played us.
These were some good episodes. I was happy. Today I'm very, very happy. At the same time, I'm kind of pissed off because I'm like, damn,
recycling is one of the most exciting
away. And Garrison is over here hitting buttons and fucking getting shit.
Dude, that was not me. Get out of here.
That was actually me. I was trying to take a picture of the thing so I could
suck my balls, Kyle.
So
What's going on, Star Wars team leader? Lenny's in the chat. Chris is in the chat. Bodie's in the chat. What's good, guys? We are happy to see you here. And the counter thing on the screen isn't working because we got 4 people in the chat and it says nobody is watching the show. So I'm thinking it's broke. Because it's not reading shit. But yeah, so we got some stuff to cover today. But before we get to all that, we got to jump in. Dion's here. We ain't seen you in a while. Dion, what's going on?
Yeah.
We're gonna drop that intro video, and then we're gonna get to talking about some stuff.
Let's do it.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now if you only knew the power of God's.
Let's go.
You are now
Hello there.
Okay, so before we get started, what happened to CJ?
I have no idea.
Oh man,
Turn your mic up a little bit, Kyle.
All right, what? Quiet. How's that better?
That's better. Way better.
Okay,
we're good.
Okay. All right. So just because we're already on Bad Batch, and we're 11 episodes in, we're gonna start with Bad Batch just because I feel that Bad Batch needs its attention. Because once we get to Mando, there's a lot of shit. So I think we can Bad Batch was great. What's going on, Infected? It was a great episode. I enjoyed it. I'm glad they got away from the Scooby-Doo videos and actually did something with the Empire, and there was a lot of stuff. Plus, I want to ruin it for Tori because she didn't watch it.
Okay, at least I watched Mando. I forgot.
You forgot about Bad Batch.
I forgot about Bad Batch. I've been so focused on moving stuff.
That's proof Bad Batch sucks. Bodie forgot to watch it too.
Bodie, you're going to get ruined.
Oh,
ruin it for you.
That's proof.
But it's all right.
No,
it's all right. I'll give a good explanation of what happened. That way, if you go back and watch it, you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, Kyle told me what was going on.
But in my defense, I did watch Mando twice and a half.
Star Wars team leader. That shit happened to me yesterday. I was just watching some other people's chats and stuff, or the other people's stuff, trying to just, see what's going on in the fandom, in the community. And it kept kicking me off for some reason. Like, I would just be on YouTube and it'd just fucking kick me the fuck off. But Bad Batch was basically aliens. Instead of xenomorphs, it was a Zillo Beast.
It's not an alien. It happened before. We saw the Zillo Beast in Clone Wars.
No, but what he's saying is like the movie Aliens. The aliens ate the crew. Could go find what happened to the crew, or go find, basically they're kind of looking for it, and then saying everybody's dead, get chased off. Basically capture the alien. That's basically what happened in Alien movies. And that is basically what happened. But it was cool. And the reason I liked it, and I'm going to break it down to y'all. The reason I liked it is because we found out some things, and something that really, really got me, and they got us all good. They got every single one of us really, really good on this, is we all thought that Lama Su was dead. They closed the doors.
I didn't. You can go back and check.
We heard the shooting going off like, oh, they done killed him. They didn't kill him. What's going on, Darth Akari? Oh, he said, Darth Akari said, just jumped in to say hi as I can't watch Mando until Friday, so I'll see y'all Saturday. Damn, that sucks. Why can't you watch it until fucking Saturday? I mean, till Friday.
Bro,
I watched it on my phone, bro.
Wake up early so you can watch it before work.
I did. I woke up, so like I tried to wake up or stay up until like 1, 2. Couldn't do it. Woke up at 5:30. I'm like, I am watching this before work. I don't care.
That's kind of
It was worth it.
Chris brought up a very good point. I didn't even think about that. See, that's why I'm glad you're here, Chris, because I didn't even think about that. Hunter's special ability is he can detect electromagnetic forces. So he can feel vibrations, the planet doing weird shit, whatever the situation. But he couldn't feel a fucking alien that is constantly giving off electricity.
He wasn't on the ground. He's in the Havoc Marauder.
That's a good point.
Okay, but also I brought this up last week with CJ, and I don't remember if I brought it up with you guys. But how does he not like the episode from last week? Even he could have put his hand. I know, but he could have put his hand on the text over here, like, oh, there might be subterranean level because I can't see anybody with his computer. Hunter could have been like, oh, yeah, there's like 40 people in this sector over here because you can feel the footsteps.
I wonder if he could feel like I don't know. I wonder if he could feel like the footsteps or like if he could feel like he could, like, can he, is he that good where he can, well, I don't even know. Cause like when the fucking spider thing or whatever it was that was above him in that one episode when they were on their little fucking pirate hunt, and he sensed that the thing was above him. So why couldn't he sense the Zillo Beast?
Because he was in the Havoc Marauder.
Because the Zillo Beast is an apex
and then when he
predator.
listen. So and he is genetically enhanced. He is a genetically enhanced creature. But before that, he can feel it off the movement of the ground, as in a natural ground. So if I put my hand on the ground, like dirt, soil.
Yeah, but it would be easier to feel it off of like the ship than it would be on the ground because the ship is metal. It vibrates a little bit better than
but
all
at
the
same
soil
time,
that's loose that can't carry that vibration.
Well,
but at the same time, it's a genetically enhanced.
Yeah,
it's a genetically enhanced creature that runs and feeds off electricity.
I think we expect too much from Hunter. I really don't think Hunter is as good of a tracker as what he seems like.
I think he's a good tracker, but I think a lot of that shit is like, I don't think it's like so much like, you know, when he feels the ground, I don't think he's like able to feel like, well, it's like he's able to feel stuff differently, but I don't think that he's like, you know what I'm saying? Like his ability is that.
It's like Disney with the plot. It's just like, you take in Marvel, Hulk punches Thanos, Thanos doesn't even blink an eye. Captain America, who's weaker than Hulk, punches Thanos, Thanos is out for the count. Like, it just changes based off of the plot. And I think it's the same thing. Like, that's just one of the flaws that Disney has.
So, I know none of y'all are like super huge Doctor Who fans, but all I can think about is it makes Moffat sense. Because if you ever watch Doctor Who, lots of things don't ever make sense. Moffat is the guy who like runs Doctor Who, the show, and things constantly don't make sense. So the fans, the Whovians,
it's just poor writing.
It makes Moffat sense.
Same thing with Doctor Who. It's just poor writing.
Hey.
She's like, don't give out my Who.
I don't know. I just, you know, because like
she's not right next to me to smack me. So
my thing is, it didn't make any sense for him to be able to know that spider thing or whatever it was that was coming. What was that damn thing that came down out of the roof when they were in that tunnel? And that thing came down that thing, and he pushes and they start shooting up, and he pushes Tech out of the way. It's just like, how did he know it was up there? Like, if he senses stuff through the vibrations in his hand, why couldn't he sense a fucking Zillo Beast through the movement of the ship? That's his.
But you
I
gotta
don't know,
also
it's kinda
think
weird.
this isn't the original Zillo Beast. This is a genetically enhanced version of said Zillo Beast.
They
If
probably
you listen to Tech
after-
Talk to Omega about it, it states that Tech's like, this is not just a normal Zillo Beast. This is genetically enhanced by the Kaminoans and Kaminoan Tech. So
So
there's a lot
they
to
took,
it.
so they took the enhancements that they made with the Bad Batch and kind of nixed them with this Zillo. Okay.
No.
And then, oh man, so Lama Su just straight fucking just ratted out.
No. Straight narcs up.
That motherfucker was like, "Oh, we talking about my freedom here? Well, if you find a certain little girl, you can get LSR to do whatever you fucking want." Like, damn, man, that's fucked up. You just straight fucked
Straight
up.
snitched.
But I like the fact that they have the Empire in there. Now I don't know too much about that dude. The fucking.
I like him though.
Yeah, he seems like he's a fucking asshole. Like, yeah,
Did
he's
you catch Lama Su say you sound like me?
No, I
Like
did
the
not.
voice,
didn't
if you
catch
listen to the voice actor, so in the episode, your voice sounds like mine. Lama Su says, and he's like, "Does it now?" If you really listen to their voice, they're very similar.
I didn't even hear
I
that.
think it's the same voice actor.
It might be.
Maybe.
Really? I caught that, and I was like,
I
"Damn,
didn't catch that.
man, they really short budgeted this. They had to use the same guy and that same voice."
Chris is like, it's also great to see that 11 episodes into the season, we're finally getting a main plot developing.
Thank you.
Well,
And which,
but the
I don't
thing is,
understand that. You think that they would have made it really, really good?
well, it
And
was
in
kind
the
of
last
rushed
couple
too.
episodes, just do the filler episodes, you know, for the last couple episodes, so everybody can focus on Mando. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you missed the last couple episodes, you already understood everything that was going on. Like, for them to actually bring in the plot point now, bring in the Empire, bring in all the exciting shit at the end, when Mando was coming out, I was like, why would you do that? Like,
Why would you? Number one, number two, it also did feel like they crammed a lot into this one episode. And I'm like, why couldn't you just have spaced this out between the last 2 or 3 episodes?
yeah,
Then we wouldn't have stupid filler ones, and it wouldn't feel so rushed.
yeah, but it was a good
But I
episode. I
digress.
have to say it was a good episode.
It's just to make Garrison mad. It's
I
really the
swear
whole. That's
sometimes
really the
it-
whole.
I feel
The
like that's
whole-
Disney's goal, is just to piss Garrison off.
They're like,
think
what
they're
can we
just there
do
to
to
piss
piss
everybody off.
Garrison
What's going on,
off?
Clinton? I think they're just that's their whole goal, is just to piss everybody off. It's like they just intentionally want to piss Star Wars fans off, because you got to think about it. All we do is they put out some crappy shit. Everybody gets online, talks about it. You look up Star Wars, and there's like a billion freaking
It's
posts
controversy, bro.
online about Star
Controversy's
Wars,
good.
and it's just
It's good for
building up
business.
the brand. And then they talking about the brand is failing. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, literally, I looked up how many people said Star Wars online last month. Over 1 billion people used the term Star Wars. Over 1 billion. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeesh.
1/7 of the population of the world. You know what I'm saying? There was over 1 billion comments on Star Wars last month. Over 1 billion. I think it was like 1.4 billion. That's a shit ton of times people said Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? So what they're doing is they're doing the shit right, even though it might irritate us. They're doing this shit right because it's just building the brand even bigger. Now, hopefully, they just don't come out with old crappy movies that just be like, what the fuck are y'all doing, man? What the hell are y'all thinking about? Which I would be happy at this point to see. I want to see a Bad Batch live action.
What? Really?
I want to see a
I don't know.
I think a Bad Batch movie would be great. If
Maybe.
they did a movie like about like what happened to the Bad Batch, like after all this shit and they escape or whatever, and they're fucking like on some planet and something happens and they got to go back to go do some shit. I think that would be a cool ass movie, and it would be something I could see. I think that they could make it. They could have the comedic part in there. They could do everything because they have all of it in the series. They got a lot of comic stuff, comical stuff within the series because fucking Wrecker be saying some funny shit.
Says some stupid shit.
Yeah, that should be stupid, but it'd be funny. I'll be laughing.
That's true.
So, what was y'all's favorite part of the whole episode?
Of this episode,
Yeah.
definitely the ending. I was just finally glad that we're like, all right, now we're getting somewhere. Here we go. The show is finally starting, is what it felt like. So it was definitely the last episode, the very last scenes for me was my.
I think
favorite.
that was one of my favorite parts. Plus, I like the part where fucking Hunter's like, Record, man, get him. And Record's like, I'm trying. That shit, I don't know what that part, just the way he said it, it was funny. I was like, dude, I like that part. Because he's just shooting the beast and it ain't doing shit.
I think my favorite part is that. He's like, did you get him? No.
Yeah.
The beast just jumps on the havoc and it's like, of course. That is, no. Just looking back at Wrecker like, oh, come on, bro.
Star Wars team leader said, just as long as they don't get Stallone to play Hunter. What if they did?
He's too old now.
Stallone, they'd have to de-age the shit out of.
I would love to see that.
Hunter gets the Peter tingles.
Omega.
Oh, we gotta stop.
Oh my god, we did it.
No, Chris's comment. He says tech, intelligent, Wrecker, strong, Omega, strategic, Echo, utility, Hunter gets the Peter tingles.
What?
It's a Spider-Man
ask
reference.
Chris.
No, old people.
Oh, I got you.
They call them the Peter Tingles when they got.
No, if you watch Spider-Man Far From Home or Homecoming or Far From Home,
I ain't seen none of the.
so Aunt May will call it. Aunt May calls it the Peter tingle because like she'll throw something at him. Oh, yeah. She's like, you didn't get the Peter tingle?
Like, I haven't watched none of the Spider-Mans after the ones with what's-his-face in it.
Toby.
Yeah.
The real Spider-Man.
I haven't watched not one of them. My son will be like, let's watch them. And I'll be like, all right. And then I just don't ever do it. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of like Batman. I just don't like that they keep putting in all these different actors to play. I don't know.
Just knowing to stop.
Michael Keaton can't live forever. They're giving him another shot, but he can't be Batman forever.
Michael Keaton was he was a good Spider-Man.
No, they should have stopped with Christian Bale.
Batman. Christian Bale was a good Batman. I watched them once, but then after, like Val Kilmer, he wasn't believable as Batman. I didn't like
Michael Keaton. To me, is the best Batman, and I don't care what Tori says. Adam West was garbage.
You're garbage.
No, it's
Adam West.
Old TV Batman.
Adam West, and then for Jokers, it goes Cesar Romero.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Thank you.
If Heath Ledger's not your number one Joker, something's wrong.
No,
He's not. He's my number two.
I love Heath Ledger.
What?
He likes Jared Leto.
No, I do not. Why would they fucking insult me like that?
I was gonna say, I was like,
Jack Nicholson.
Jack
Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson was a great Joker.
He gave us that gangster Joker that we always wanted. He gave that in live action form because we only saw it in comic books. If you want the madman, the psychopath, you go for Heath Ledger. You want the shitty crackhead, get Jared Leto.
No, I want the Joker, and the Joker's Heath Ledger.
Infected is on my side. CJ, we can't be friends anymore. Adam West was hilarious.
No, okay.
Yes, hilarious. I couldn't take him seriously.
They will never get anybody to play the Penguin better than Danny DeVito.
Yes.
Thank you.
Never.
Yes.
And guess who is his Batman? Michael fucking Keaton.
I like Michael Keaton. I don't know. I think what's his face was the best Batman though.
Which one? Kevin Conroy?
There's been like 30.
The fuck is this? The fucking man.
The vampire?
My brain ain't working. Huh?
The vampire?
No, it was a vampire.
Robert Pattinson.
No, hell
He was
no.
a good Batman. He was a good Batman.
fell
I
asleep.
liked
Hell
him.
no,
I fell
man.
asleep during the movie.
He's like,
Okay.
"Hell
We
no."
also-
What's his face?
We also watched it at midnight, so you don't get to say you fell asleep because it was boring. You fell asleep because you were tired. Don't start that.
Okay,
Maybe
Chris.
yeah. So Bale was probably the best Batman and Bruce.
Easy.
Okay, Chris. Chris says y'all sleeping on Joaquin. Okay, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. I liked the fact that it came and was like, oh, it's society that made him crazy, not him or the vat of acid. But that movie was so long. I stopped it in the middle of the movie and was like, how long have we have not been watching this movie for an hour. It felt like a 5 to 6 hour movie. I hated Joaquin Phoenix's movie.
Oh, I didn't mind it. It was good, but it was just it's just not how I see Joker. I think the ultimate Joker was this is a fucking Star Wars podcast, but the ultimate Joker was fucking Heath Ledger. Like, that was legendary. Are you kidding me?
Infected is on my side with me. He's tried to watch
Okay,
Pattinson 7 times. Back to Star Wars, however.
Yeah, back to the Bad Batch.
What y'all rate this episode? Did everybody say what they liked about the episode? Tori, did you say?
Tori
what you
don't
liked
count.
about-
You will have to skip me, and I
Oh, yeah,
will
you didn't
answer
watch
your
it.
questions on
You can't.
Saturday.
Okay, so what y'all rated?
Loser.
I rated this one at a 7. There were some things I think that they could have done better, but I really liked the episode.
I honestly, I give it an 8.
8. Wow.
It gave us action. It gave us horror. It gave us some funny moments. It gave us some what the hell is happening, and then it gave us the cliffhanger. I always enjoy when they give us a cliffhanger because
That's why I
it
gave
keeps
it a
us on the
7.
edge of our seats.
Fucking hate cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Don't leave me on a fucking cliffhanger. I hate fucking cliffhangers. Tell me what the fuck's gonna happen. I don't want to wait a week. I'm impatient. I'm like a little kid at Christmas.
Oh, we know.
All right. So where'd you
Tori?
get it? Tori can't. rate it 'cause she didn't watch
Tori's
it.
not here at the moment.
Tori doesn't care. All right.
So we
Forget
gotta
it.
get hers on Saturday.
Tori can't come to the phone right now. Tori's dead. All right. Fuck. Did I just quote Taylor Swift? Something
You
wrong
did
with me.
just quote Taylor
Fucking.
Swift.
I've been hanging out with my wife too much. For me, I think I put it as a 6. Y'all, like, I'm not a big fan of the whole like monster vibe in Star Wars.
Hey, I like the
I
fact that
don't
they had
know.
the Zillo Beast in it.
Yeah, I don't think the Zillo Beast isn't that cool to me. It's just whatever.
Zillo
I
Beast is
felt
awesome.
like it was kind of a rushed episode. Yeah, so it was just whatever. So yeah, I think 6 is probably. What's Swifty? Garrison?
Taylor
confirmed
Swift
Swifty?
fan.
Oh yes. Sure, I guess so. But yeah, I would probably put it as a 6.
Okay. All right. Now we got to get into the shit.
Oh man, the show of all shows.
The one that I actually watched.
The fucking
I am
Mandalorian.
so excited to talk about this.
All right. I have to say it. The Mandalorian.
Was disappointing.
What the fuck? Oh, hell no.
Who the
Oh,
fuck
really?
are
You
you?
dropped on your head as a child.
Oh no, dude! I thought I was legit. I was like, this
Oh.
was not what I was expecting.
Dude, that shit was fucking amazing. Dude,
This
it
was a
really
great
brought- it really-
episode.
dude, this is a space western. That's what this fucking shit is. And it's fucking awesome. You got gunslinging, shooting motherfuckers, fast draw. That shit was fucking.
Oh
and
yeah, I love that.
They're trying to bring back IG-11. And
I
like
loved
the
that.
IG-11. I
I
like
thought that was
IG-11.
Shoot it, Mando! Shoot it, Mando!
IG-11
Shoot
is
it!
the shit.
Shoot it, Mando! Shoot it! Shoot it! I'm
That shit was
trying.
fucking. This episode had everything you could want. It had comedy. It had action. It had gunslinging. It had horror. It just had every possible.
Horror. What
thing.
horror was in this?
When they woke up IG-11, and that motherfucker.
That was
such a-
horror.
That was honestly.
That shit was scary. He was like, killed a child, and they're oh shit. It had,
Shoot it, Mando! Shoot it! Shoot
it had
it!
the funny ass part because it had the part where where fucking Grogu's sitting in a chair and he's using the force to spin it around in a circle.
I did like
and
that.
he
That was
grabs
funny.
the candy. I was like, this is the shit.
I love when Grogu grabs one of those. What are they called? What is their species?
The Anzellans.
Yeah, no, Grogu, no, not a pet. It's not a pet.
That shit was fucking hilarious. It was good all the way around, and the way he fucking, oh man, and that pirate fucking captain dude, that green, I couldn't figure out what he was. Like, what fucking species? Are
I've
you like
never
a
seen that
dyed Wookiee?
species.
Are you like
Oh,
a
dude,
Wookiee
I
that
got
dyed
major
green?
like Guardians
Swamp
of the
Thing?
Galaxy's vibe.
I got major Swamp Thing vibes.
Oh no, I thought I was like, dude, am I watching Guardians of the Galaxy right now?
I don't know that shit. I was like, what the hell is he? Is he like a Wookiee that died himself and learned how to speak basic? Oh, man.
He died himself. I thought it looked like Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean and Chewbacca had a kid.
I know it
Like
was
they had a
ugly
love
as shit.
child.
They have a love
That
child.
motherfucker I know it was ugly as hell, whatever it was. But the way he was
Hi,
taking them
buddy.
fucking pirates out like it wasn't shit.
Yes, infected. This is Cass.
Hi,
Yes.
buddy.
We're a little emotional right now. So
Clint said, I'm still hoping for Hondo. Yeah, I can see Hondo popping up in it. I don't know. Hondo's gonna be old as shit right now, though. I don't know how old his fucking age is.
I don't know
but
how those species age, but yeah, that's kind of a it's kind of a long
Hondo
time.
was-
Well, so if you listen to, I have one of the books. It's right after Rise of Skywalker, right after Force Awakens when Han dies. The whole point of riding the Millennium Falcon was to do that mission for Hondo. So Hondo's technically alive going into the Force Awakens. That means he's got to be alive during Return of the Jedi, between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. So we might see
Are
Hondo.
you talking about the Hondo book? What's the name of that book?
Yeah, where Chewie lends him the Millennium, or gives him the Millennium Falcon, and it's
Yeah, I
doused
thought
with
that was-
porgs.
Oh yeah, it did have the porgs in there, so I had to. Be
Yeah,
like
it was
yeah,
doused with
'cause I was thinking
porgs.
of the timeline. I'm like, no, but you're right. It did have the porgs in that motherfucker. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, I agree with somebody said Star Wars team leader said that I did not like Bo-Katan part though. That shit was like, well,
It
Yeah,
was
I
so
didn't like it either.
misleading.
It
It was
felt a little
so
rushed.
misleading.
It was a little bit rushed.
Yeah, it was.
It was
well,
very
I don't
rushed.
like the fact that fucking he just like.
Like what?
So I got to read.
You got you were mid sentence and stuff,
Yeah, I
bro.
know,
You
I was
can't
like,
do that to
what?
me.
Because Chris be popping up whole paragraphs over here, and I was like, it just caught my attention. I didn't like the fact of that, like, Bo-Katan she just went left fucking field. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're the leader. Flash
Yeah,
the
dude.
dark saber. and
She's
don't do
like
what you
lost her
say.
will to live.
Like, damn, you just completely gave up. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, bro.
She-
She's
You
lost
are
her will
willing-
to live.
you
Yeah,
are
she
willing
just-
to-
way weak for Bo-Katan.
I think she knows what she's in for if she fights Mando. Because with Moff Gideon, she knew she could kick Moff Gideon's ass. But with Mando, she knows that's gonna be a hell of a fight.
Yeah, but I don't but you just give up. Like, dude,
Yeah.
what the hell? And she just sitting on her she's just like laying on her little throne and shit.
Yeah, dude.
And she's like, I don't care. Do what you want to do. Blah, blah. You old giving up weak ass.
She
You wanted to
acted
rule
like
Mandalore?
she acted like the wife when the wife is in a bad mood. I don't care. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I was like, oh my god.
Hey,
I've seen
hey,
this before.
hey. This seems like familiar territory to me.
Yes. I have a bad feeling about this.
Hi, buddy.
That's just, and it just, that bothered me so much because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just gave up. You done did all this fighting. You've been fighting since the Clone Wars. You know what I'm saying? Fighting and fighting and fighting. And you just gave up because he got the
That's all it
Darksaber?
took.
You didn't even fight technically it wasn't ever yours because you have to win it in combat. She didn't fight Sabine. Sabine just gave it to her. So it's like, dude, when Mando tried to give it to you, why didn't you just take it then? I didn't ever get that part. Because it's like, dude, what?
Maybe because at that point she realized that wasn't the way to do it, so she wanted to do it the right way.
No,
Yeah, that was
because
not the
so
way.
if we pay attention in season 2 and in Book of Boba Fett when they talk about the Darksaber, the armor states that Bo-Katan got it from Sabine in a non-combat way, which led to the whatever of 1,000 tears.
Yeah.
It's because the tradition was broken, which led to the Empire's domination over Mandalore. And that's why, and she probably finally realized, if I do this again, will Mandalore no longer be a planet? Is like, can we not go back and fix Mandalore because if I do this again? Like, I think there's a lot to it that we're going to see through these episodes that explains a lot of the reason why she was like, I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't give a fuck. They left me. My whole crew left me. Like, flash the light, the Darksaber, they'll come to you. I don't care. I ain't doing shit. I got my house. Like,
Chris said, did you guys notice that the 4 pirates they killed on Navarro were the same pilots? Like, man was like, you killed 4 of my pilots, you killed 4 of my brothers, but they flew with you now. They fly with you now.
Yeah, so like,
it was kind of weird. Then Bodie says, Bo-Katan is my favorite, and personally, I don't like her scene much. Even the castle design seemed a bit lazy. There was
what's like, bro? But what is she doing? Like, she just sits in that chair all day? Are you not bored? Like,
no, she got the hollow net.
Hey, depression does weird things.
She made the Mandalorians look weak, like, oh, you didn't get your way, so you're just gonna give up. Like, dude, follow Mando. Mando won the Darksaber fair and square. He is the rightful leader of the Mandalorians right now. Follow him. Why are you telling him just to do what he wants and just go? I don't care. Like, dude, it just seemed really, just like, it gave me a bad taste in my mouth about the Mandalorians, not about the show. The show to me was great, but the way that she acted and then he just walked off and that's where the cliffhanger they left it, I was kind of fucking mad. Like, dude, I want to know more. Tell me more.
I wasn't mad because, like, I like cliffhangers to an extent. Like, if you give me a good cliffhanger, it'll keep me on my toes and ready for that next week's episode. You give me a shitty cliffhanger, I'm gonna be in Kyle's seat where it's like, what the hell are you doing to me?
Well, to
Why
me,
are you doing this to me?
Cliffhanger because I wanted to, like, it was like, really, you just argue, like, you didn't even argue with her. She just kind of fucking.
She told you where to go,
and then told you to do what you wanted to do, and just left, and then you just
Well,
walked off. So
what I like is when he goes, okay, this fucks me up. I'm gonna pull this up. When at the beginning of the whole episode, when they're doing the christening kind of deal with the Mando helmet, and he comes in, saves all those guys that turned their backs on him, and then she's still like, "You're an apostate. You are not a Mandalorian." He's like, honestly, I would have been like, I would have lit the Darksaber.
You would be a Mandalorian if I didn't show up. You'd be a corpse.
Deadass, I would have turned on the LightSaber and been like, "Do you see this? This is fucking otherwise.
What? Like,
You better watch yourself."
that's
She's the leader of them, and the only thing she wasn't doing shit. Only thing she did is run and say that one Mandalorian. She didn't do shit. She wasn't fighting, shooting, doing anything. She was just standing there while everybody else was doing everything. Like, how are you the leader? You didn't even fight.
What messes me up about that is, like, he saves them. He parks the ship. He brings Grogu in. And I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be kind of a moment. Like, this will be kind of a good moment. Like, maybe she might change her mind. I should have fucking known better, but maybe she might say something. And she's like, "You're an apostate." He's like, "Well, I'm going to go and save my soul pretty much and go bathe in holy water,
I'm gonna
technically."
get baptized.
Yeah, let me go get re-baptized on Mandalore, even though you're asking baptize me on Mandalore, and go from there. You gave me my helmet on Navarro. You've probably stepped foot on Mandalore, but the other guys that are around me probably never seen Mandalore. And if they have, they've seen it from a flyby. You don't get to tell me if I'm Mandalorian or not. Mandalorian is not a specific. Fuck, man, this bitch. That's all I gotta say.
And then tell me you didn't get the beast on there wasn't like from that one giant crocodile fucking
Thank
TV
you.
show.
Ah,
I was
yeah.
like, this from
I was
Jurassic
the way it
Park.
jumped out the water.
Yeah.
Remember how it jumps out the water and grabs that fucking cow? And when Betty White is fucking feeding the motherfucker the cows and shit. What's the name of that movie?
Jurassic
I have
World?
no idea
No, it
what
wasn't
you're
Jurassic
talking
World.
about.
No. It's I know exactly which one. It's
Betty
freaking
White feeding
yeah,
cows and
it's-
alligators.
It's
What's the
it's
name
an
of that movie?
indie movie, and Betty White was the crazy crocodile lady, and she would hang a live cow from a rope over water, and this big ass alligator would jump out the water and eat this cow, and she would just laugh and walk away like it was nothing. Like this 40-foot alligator is not a threat or anything.
The name of the movie is Lake Placid.
Yeah, Lake Placid.
Yeah.
That's what I got. I got like a Lake Placid out of that. Like, I don't know, when she was just sitting there, when the forger lady was sitting there talking, and they're sitting there going back and forth, and it just jumped out and grabbed that one Mandalorian. I don't know. I just got that vibe for some reason. I was like, I've seen this before. Wasn't Betty White in this? Ain't this chick ain't fighting nobody, and she's the Betty White. I don't know. I just got that vibe.
Yeah,
All
that
I
was one of
gotta
the things
say-
that threw me off, and
All I gotta say is that the beginning of this episode was like, oh, this bitch. And then the end of this episode was like, ah, this bitch. Like, it was the two top women in Mando's life are both freaking assholes right now.
All I know is that
Story of my
like
life.
literally watching this made me realize something that I had completely forgot about. That I really like westerns because that's all this is a space western.
bro,
Like
westerns are the shit.
westerns
yeah.
are the shit.
I like that both episodes, like both Bad Batch and Mando, both had gunfighting, like not gunfighting, but ship fighting moments, like Starfighter pure moments.
Oh,
I loved this.
He was fucking their asses up.
Oh man, they did, and he's coming out of nowhere. Where is he? Boom! Through an asteroid, he blows through one guy. And it's like, damn, bro, that's man. That Naboo Starfighter, man. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if I died that way.
Yeah,
Like at least
You wouldn't
you
even
died
have
by
time
a
to be
top.
mad.
Right?
Well, but once you join the force, I'd be sitting there looking back like, man, I could have died in a punk ass way. At least the Naboo Starfighter took me out. Like that
Did you-
top tier Starfighter.
Did you notice what they said about like Cara Dune or whatever, and how they wrote
Oh,
her
yeah.
out?
yeah.
She's like part of the special forces now or whatever.
Oh.
Oh man,
Which
that was
I
a
kinda-
punk. That was a punk way to do it, but
I went back and went through like all of like what she said and everything, and what she was talking about and how like the whole thing. I don't think they should have canceled her. I don't think.
Wasn't it over her
Basically,
stupid thing on
basically she-
Twitter that she put a pronoun on Twitter or
Yeah.
something like
No,
that?
Yeah, it was
that
a
she
robot
She did
thing.
like beep boop bop, and I mean it was a whole
yeah.
thing.
Basically, what
whatever.
happened, she was talking about people getting along, and she was like, people aren't getting along. It's kind of like people are getting treated like the Nazis treated so and so or whatever, treated the Jews. And everybody just said Nazis and Jews, and oh, she's a Holocaust supporter, and that's not what she was talking about. People getting along. When you actually do the research and look at what she said, and look at the contents and everything on the whole conversation and everything, that's not what she said. But that's what they just Nazi Jews cancel. That's what happened.
well, and if you really look back, you can get on Pedro Pascal's Twitter. It's gone now, but you can find the photos. He's also referenced it himself.
Yeah, he said the same thing about other stuff. It's just
Yeah.
he was on the right side, and she was on the wrong side.
Well, he's daddy. Of course, he's gonna get okay with it.
It's my thoughts on it are very controversial. So
I just was like, you know what I'm saying? The way she said, she was basically used it as a reference of how certain people get treated. Like, you might as well be fucking Nazis treating the Jews the way the Nazis treated the Jews. And so it wasn't like nothing that but just because she used them references, basically that's what got her canceled.
Right.
That's why Disney fired her. And
Well,
she was
among
she
other
was more
things,
on the
but yeah.
Republican side than she was on the Democratic side.
Yeah, dude.
And because she was on
Can't be
and Disney
Republican.
is all Democratic, that they was like, nope, you got to go.
And it's whatever at this point. Like, it's sad that, it was a double standard situation and she had to be the example given, because like they could have done it as a Pedro Pascal character. You don't see his face. You could have rewrote with a different person playing Mando.
Yeah.
But
I don't know,
they used her as an example. It's bad. It's kind of crappy, but at the same time, who cares? She was a UFC fighter and a moderately okay actor or actress. Like, it's all right. Like, we can move forward. We're getting more Star Wars from this. Like, I'm okay with this.
I don't know. I just didn't like the way they wrote her out, and I was hoping. I mean, I kind of didn't like the way they wrote her out, and I kind of do like the way they wrote her out because it gave, you know what I'm saying. It gave them a chance to ask Mando to come, because everybody's like trying to get Mando to come in and be like the marshal or be a good guy and just give up the mask. You know, that was something that happened
would be
from
sick. I would love to see
season
that.
1. You know, give up the armor. You could put that stuff away. You can live out your life as, just you and Grogu, which I wouldn't be bad about. Yeah, Grief is living large. Yes.
Oh man, Navarro looks beautiful.
That dude got droids carrying the back of his fucking gown and shit.
Little roller droids. So I love that. The detail in that scene alone was beautiful.
Can't get the cape dirty. Can't get the cape dirty.
Hey, him and Lando trade secrets, okay?
They probably.
Hey, I promise you this. They probably spent more money on his costume than they did on the rest of the set.
Real talk, though. I bet Carl Weathers just like, instead of a pay increase, can we give me a dope-ass outfit? Like, a dope-ass outfit? Like, I want a cape and everything.
Because he came out looking like the super pimp.
Oh, super pimp. Yep.
Yeah.
He just needed a chalice. Oh my god.
And a hat with a feather in it.
Oh, and the really cool extra fancy cane.
Oh yeah.
Why are you agreeing like you know what we're talking about?
The whole point of that little battle scene with the pirate dudes was because they were trying to go into school and drink.
Yeah, what the
Bro,
hell?
like, that's my thing. I was like, bro, these are the dumbest fucking pirates I've ever seen.
You can't look at the situation, like the building, the kids and everything and be like, oh, hey, this is a school.
It's like dumbest fucking pirates I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. All around. I liked the episode. I thought it had a lot of good stuff in it. There were some things I didn't like, but I'm never gonna like everything in every episode anywhere. I already know me too well. There's gonna be something. There was a couple music things, a couple blaster points where you heard the sound 15 seconds before the blaster went off. Like, what the hell?
I don't care, Keisha. This was a good episode.
I don't give up, Keisha.
It was a good episode. I'm not saying it wasn't a good episode. There were just some things that you just seen that there was just like, I don't know, music composition plays such a big part in stuff. Sound effects plays such a big part. There wasn't too many. I didn't see, because I watched it twice. There wasn't too many camera angles or camera flaws. I didn't see none of the background flashing or anything like that, because they're shooting that shit all in that big ass giant TV room. And a couple times in season 1 and season 2, you'll see like the screens flash or flicker. I didn't see none of that, so I think that they're working all the bugs out of that stuff. But I mean, you got to think about it. It's all new technology. This is all, fairly new, last 10 years technology, so you're going to have some hiccups. But overall, I liked it. I liked the episode. I liked the fact that it was a gang of gunslinging. You had, they started right off with, ships blowing shit up and people shooting each other, and we got IG-11 and coming back, and just the Grogu part where he's sitting in that chair spinning, that shit got me. That shit.
Oh, I know. He's just
and I loved And I loved the fact that he like dropped down from his little bubble and crawled up with Mando.
There was some very heartfelt moments in there.
It was
just like,
adorable.
there was some things that really got me where I was like, oh, when he's spinning in that chair and he's making the sound, I just cracked up laughing. It hit me in the heart. I was like, oh, this is why I love Grogu right here, because he's always doing some special shit.
Right? He's always doing something
And
cute.
when he squeezed the little Babu freak creatures, whatever the Zellins.
Grogu, no. Grogu, no. It's not a
That
fat.
shit had
Put
me
him
dying.
down.
That's not.
And then he goes back to hug him.
And the way that they were talking, and he was like, "Dude, I don't understand what you're saying." And Grief was having to translate. He was like, "I got that part." And that it just had a lot of good things. I just didn't like really. I didn't like the Lake Plastic part, and I didn't like the end. I just thought that was a very, very shallow cliffhanger. Like, they could have made it way better. Like, he was walking out and she tried to shoot him in the back or some shit, and then it just went black. Then I was like, what happened? You know what I'm saying?
So Chris said a couple things. One was, someone get a patent on those droids. You would make a killing in the wedding business for brides.
True, though.
Accurate. And then the other one was a question, actually. Do you think Mando is going to try and have other Mandalorians become the security of Navarro? Because we see all of them on Navarro fighting in the trailers.
It's possible.
Maybe.
Especially with Grief Karga.
Let's fight some
What I think
space
is gonna
pirates.
happen, like in the next couple episodes, he's gonna go recruit. He's gonna show him the darksaber. He's gonna recruit them, and then he's gonna a bunch of them is gonna go back to Mandalorian. I think there's gonna be some remnants of the Empire there. They're doing something there.
Well, if you watch the trailer, we did see TIE fighters.
Yeah, we did see them TIE fighters in that episode. That was pretty. No, it was in the Bad Batch where we seen them TIE fighters that the wings they lifted up and then the wings folded in like that. That was cool in the Bad Batch.
So if you watch this last trailer before the first episode, you will see him running from TIE fighters. So I think, like in the books, like Rogue Squadron is a prime example. I know it's a Legends book, but in comparison, there are still factions of the Empire still alive for like 5 years until the New Republic takes full control of the galaxy. So I do think that a lot of the Empire factions are on Mandalore due to the fact that the New Republic isn't going to go take Mandalore. Mandalore's blown up. It's in pieces. It's in shambles. There's no need to go and protect this.
Get Beskar, and there's still Beskar on Mandalore. That's kind of what that green stone was, to say that they crystallized the top layer. Man, the Beskar's in the ground. So they might be trying to get Beskar. That's what I got. That's what I was thinking. Like, they might still be there. So he goes, because you got to figure the next episode, at least the next episode, maybe the next 2 episodes, he's trying to find IG-88's parts, because he's trying to get his team together. Now, do they keep pushing on that issue, or does he, now that he knows, just because he has the darksaber, he can just go get other Mandalorians to join him and come with him? I think at some point he's going to push the issue of the way is you got to keep your face covered. So he's going to go and he's going to like recruit these other Mandalorians, say we all need to go get.
Well, and I don't think he will. I honestly don't think he will, because he saw how he got the darksaber. He knows the legend behind the darksaber, and all it takes is for one person to challenge him, and he could possibly lose it. I think he's going to get IG, and I think he's going to get a couple of like Axe Wolves or Costco Reeves, get the people that know him, and they're like, hey, don't fuck with this guy. Like, I wouldn't even challenge him, to kind of back him up. And then he's going to go recruit. I think he's going to get the people that know him first. Like I said, Axe Wolves, Costco Reeves, maybe even Bo-Katan, kind of like, hey, he kicked off Gideon's ass. He could probably kick mine. I'm not going to challenge him for the darksaber yet until I know I can beat him. And that's just how it's going to roll out.
Chris made a good point. He said, yeah, he will recruit them with the darksaber. Grief is going to reach out to him for help after the pirate invade, and Mando will lead a counterattack on them. I think that's a good prediction right there.
I just think it's funny that the pirates they try to go get drunk in the school. Like Garrison said, you got to be some dumbass pirates to keep pushing that
bro,
issue.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It literally gave me like fucking Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. You know, like who's the Scavengers or whatever, and how they're meant to be like comedic and stupid. That's literally what I was thinking about these pirates. I was like, these guys are not they're just idiots. Like, I don't know.
Who was that?
It was like,
did anybody? Because I didn't ever even look it up. I should have before the show. Look up who that main pirate captain was to see what he is and shit. I'm about to look it up right now.
Taserface.
Taserface. Who names himself Taserface?
Literally, the entire time watching, I was like, dude, this is like Guardians of the Galaxy. Even the ships the pirates were flying, I was like, dude, this is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Chris asks if we get a live action Hando appearance with all the pirates. And I think so.
You reckon?
I reckon.
I hope not. I'm just kidding. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. It just depends. Honestly, it will depend if you get the right voice actor. He's got to sound like Hondo. He's got to have Hondo's mannerisms. Like, you got to be on par with it. You can't just do a beloved character like that and do it half-assed. We saw what that's done.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, trust me, I know. As I'm wearing the shirt.
All right, so what do y'all rank it?
All right, though.
If
Hold
we're
on
ready
right
for
quick.
rankings.
The pirate captain is Gorian Shard. He's a non-soul Aries.
He's a what?
It's non-soul and a Zoe. Whatever the hell that is.
Okay. Swamp Thing. Cool.
Like, I don't even know what that is. Like, what the hell is that? Like, I ain't never heard that shit.
He's just borrowing a Hondo ship and thinks he's a captain.
Oh, that's another thing. We got the Purgle.
The what?
There was Purgle in there. In the episode, there was Purgle when they're flying through hyperspace and Grogu's looking out the window. You see the Purgle on the side?
He's using the Force. He's using the Force to slow it down. And you can see the Purgles on the side. If you, Garrison hasn't seen Rebels.
But ain't there Purgles? We watched season 1 and
They're-
2.
No, the Purgles are.
No, because they're in the one where they go get the ship. Where she has to go get the shit. No, it's not in that one.
That's not 1 or 2.
Yeah, I don't. Now my brain is like.
Chris says that he puts it a 6.5, above average, but not amazing. Bodhi says 7 for me. Season 1 and 2 premieres were much better. Chris also says, yeah, I was going to laugh if we just saw Ezra writing one.
Hi, Bug.
Yeah, ta-da. They are...
What would y'all rank it?
Honestly, I'm going to give it a 7. There was some things that they could have hit more on. Like, Bo-Katan could have stood up and gotten his face and kind of said that stuff. Kind of as like a get the hell away from me. Like, you knew why I was looking for Moff Gideon, and kind of played that you backstabbed me kind of deal. Like, you knew about the Darksaber all along. There could have been more monologue to that situation, but there wasn't. And there's some missed opportunities in that. And there's a little bit more missed opportunities with the pirate ship, but we're going to get more of obviously both. So,
yeah, the first time we seen the Purgles was in season 2.
Did we get that far?
I don't know. We was on I don't know. It doesn't say which episode it was.
But no, like I said, there's some monologue that was missing that could have been. It could have given it more like spice. It could have like livened it up a little bit more, especially between him and the armorer. Like the fact that like he hands her that piece of Mandalorian like glass shard, and she like all of a sudden is like, oh, let me look at that. Like she's willing to go near him because he's got something from Mandalore. Let's get out of here. Like you just called him an apostate. Get out
now
of here.
you want
Yeah,
me.
that's
Now
true.
you want me.
Oh, now I'm important.
Now I'm a Mandalorian.
You
I
fucking
see.
gold digger.
Ah.
Real talk though. And then like I said, with the Bo-Katan thing, there could have been more spice in that situation where she's like, you knew about the Darksaber all along. That's why you took out Moff Gideon. That's all this stuff. Like there could have been so much to it, but they didn't. So it could lead into that later. We don't know.
And so
Exactly, and
going
we can't get sorry, Kyle. We can't get overly upset about things that it didn't touch on because we're not entirely sure if it's going to be in the next episode or if that's something that they are going to dive deeper into when they have more time to do it.
Well, ain't none of the episodes very long. I think the longest episode is like
Yeah.
43 minutes.
And this episode, I feel like definitely needed a bit more. With how much happened, it felt very rushed, very superficial, just very superficial and not really like into anything. It just felt like, all right, it just felt rushed and half-assed a little bit. But that's my opinion, and that's why I put it at a 5.
Put it at a 5. Damn.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that low, but
I'm pretty much agreeing with everybody in the chat. I put it at a 7. I like the shootout. I like the space stuff. I like the Baby Yoda stuff. I didn't really care. Just the whole talk between her, Bo-Katan and Din was just kind of. I agree with CJ that it was kind of, it just seemed really rushed. It seemed like there was not a lot of context there. They should have had more context.
I would have, if you were set on keeping it like 30 minutes or whatever, I would have cut out the Bo-Katan part and cut out like the space battle with the pirates and just gone him visiting that planet. And like, I love the old Western like draw and that kind of stuff, but it just felt very rushed, fitting in all that stuff that they were trying to fit in all into one episode. You know what I mean?
But the Western part, I like the funny parts. I liked a lot of it. Some of the things I didn't care for, like I said earlier, was the sound effects was off in certain places. The music some of the music didn't fit the tone of the scene, and it was like, it kind of threw me off a little bit. So that's why I gave it a 7. I would have gave it higher if it just that Bo-Katan scene. I do agree with you. They should have just cut it off before that Bo-Katan scene. They could have left that like the beginning of the next episode.
Yeah.
I don't think that they should have took out the battle. I just wish it would have had a little bit more. I mean, when he got to the pirate, at least the pirate captain, at least do a little bit more, give us a little bit more of his character, because I want to know. I would have liked to know more about his character. What's going on with his character. So, but I think we'll see that later on in some of the other episodes, because I do agree with Chris. I think that they're gonna go up to Navarro and start trying to cause havoc in Navarro, and then he'll then the other Mandalorians will come and help him out. So I'm gonna say a 7.
Okay.
I liked, so oddly enough, I liked kind of the way that they were able to bring in Bo-Katan. I don't like how they did it, but I like the fact that they were able to bring her in. They just could have done it so much better.
Yeah. And I think that was the goal. Like, they knew people wanted to see Bo-Katan. They just rushed it. It was good idea, poorly executed.
Well, and I think the way that they did her, like, she just like basically you're like, kind of Mandalorian? You ruled Mandalore at one time, and now you're just
That's
giving
true.
up.
And now
Like,
you're
dude, you
a
just
baby
quit.
back
Oh, I didn't get
bitch.
my fucking way. I'm quitting. Like, I didn't like that. Like, it just that's not who Bo-Katan's character is to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Boba Fett. Like, you take this badass guy that's been killing people and, you know what I'm saying, capturing people and all kind of shit for a long time, and then just turn him into a baker. You know, the town saver, and now you just making Bo-Katan kind of this chick that just gives up, and it's like that's not who they are. That's not their character. You know, that's not what we've been shown throughout the other stuff. Star Wars team leader said Garrison rated a cartoon higher
I
than
know.
Mando. LO, the world is ending.
I know, bro.
I think that they were both good episodes. I think that they both could have done more and touched on more. They both seemed a little bit rushed, but I think overall I wasn't too disappointed with this week when it came to Star Wars.
I'm sorry, Tori. What number did you say again? I'm sorry.
I didn't. I
I'm sorry.
started,
We
and
cut
you're
you
good.
off. That's my bad.
You're fine. I also slightly muted because Cass dropped my battle droid's gun, and it was the end of the world. I liked it. Cass, hush. I liked it. Probably about a 7, 8.
Okay.
I really did. I liked the heartfulness, like as Kyle called it, between, you know, Mando and Mando and Grogu. It was, I grew up on John Wayne movies, so it was kind of that gunfighter, all that fun stuff. It was a good episode. Definitely could have had some things that they changed. Bo-Katan. However, overall not bad.
All right. So we got everybody's at 7s except for me, it sounds like. And the world is ending because I ranked a cartoon higher than Mandalorian. Jesus.
Did
Hello?
CJ rank it?
Yeah, CJ ranked it.
Okay. Sorry, everything's
No,
hectic
you're
right
good.
now. Don't ever move. 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
All right. Kyle, what are you looking at?
I said, I'm looking at a thing that says, so SF Gates posted a thing, a news report saying that Mando should have retired into a Star Wars galaxy far, far away. And they basically saying that after the creation of Andor, Mando cannot compete with Star Wars.
Mando can. All right.
Mando can't, at least from this. They said everybody that likes this first episode are fanboys, and the franchise, and that they
Yeah, suck it. I'm not a fanboy.
that it was not a good episode, and it can't compete with Andor. Two
Yeah,
different things to me.
You can't compete with Andor. Andor's masterpiece.
To me, it's two different things.
It is. They are drastically different shows.
Andor is more adult, gritty, and Mandalorian is basically Kung Fu: The Legend continues with guns.
Kung Fu the Legend returns.
It is. If you
Oh,
really
dude,
think
yeah,
about it,
it's-
Mandalorian is like Kung Fu: The Legend continues, except he's a Mandalorian with guns and are in space. But that's the type of vibe. It's gave me that type of vibe since the very first season, and that's why I like it. But it is very different compared to what Andor is. Andor is more adult oriented than Mandalorian's like in the middle. You know, it's like family orientated.
Well, I
like
think-
the whole family could sit down
Yeah.
and watch Kung Fu: The Legend continues. It always has good morals. It always has. He's working for something that is beyond him.
I think that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be like kind of an all family. This episode felt a little more kid focused than in the past. But I don't know.
But it just, I enjoyed it. And plus you got to
It
think about
was still good. Like, I don't know. It just had some flaws that me, I'm picky.
But I just for them to say that they should have just retired him after season 2, he should have just no.
I don't know if I'd say
There's still too
that.
much of the story that needs to be told. There's still too much that we need to know, and then there's still too much background that we need to find out about Grogu that I think they're going to bring out in this thing or in this season. And Dave has kind of said that they're going to touch a little bit more on what happened at the Jedi Temple, and these are things that I want to know. We've seen Anakin and the stormtrooper or the clones walk in to the into the Jedi Temple, and we've seen a couple holograms, and we've seen a couple flashbacks, but we don't know all the depths and details, and I think they're going to get into a little bit more of that, and I'm excited to see that. And I've been a Mandalorian fan since it came out. I love Mandalorian. I love Grogu. It's one of those things that's where the direction that I kind of wanted the Star Wars to go. If they kept on the plan of the if they kept on the plan of going down that line, I think it would be great, because they came out with a whole new character with multiple characters, and it still didn't make me feel like I was losing or something, or they was changing something. It felt like Star Wars.
Yeah,
So
I also
So I was curious actually and looked up the Rotten Tomatoes. The article on it says The Mandalorian Season 3 premiere features a sad Bo-Katan, a bad baby, and a pirate problem.
So I was watching an interview with Dave, and Dave said the span between when Grogu gets picked up by Luke and Grogu goes back to Mando was 2 fucking years.
How could it be 2 years? Well, I don't know. A lot
Yeah.
of stuff
Jesus
happened
Christ,
on
really?
Dave said it. Dave literally confirmed it. He's like, yeah, there's
They
a
need to do
2-year
a better
span.
job of showing that then, because that's pretty
That's what
important
I
to the
said.
story, I would say.
Well, we were only
Yeah.
in one episode, Garrison, so I think we'll see more. Like, we saw him use the Force and not fall asleep. He's spinning himself around. So, and using the Force to grab candy. And it wasn't a lot of focus to grab the candy. Oh, puppy dog!
Puppy!
Cass. Hi, buddy.
Cass got so excited to see the pup.
Hi, buddy.
He's been over here. He has a battle droid. I have a Black Series battle droid, and he has the gun. So he's been looking at each one of you and just going poo 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 poo.
Right. Yep.
That's why I have to keep muting, is because he's blasting everybody.
But no, and I think with a couple more episodes, I think we'll see more of an expansion on those 2 years. Because, like I said, we saw a hint of it because he's using the Force without getting tired. We saw him slow down his focus while in hyperspeed to see those creatures in hyperspace. So I think there's a lot more that we're going to see from Grogu than Mando this season. Like, we'll get Mando. We'll get the Darksaber trial, and we'll get all these things about Mandalore. But I think a lot of it's going to be focused on Grogu's Force abilities. Like in the trailer, we saw him huck that freaking werewolf-looking shit thing and roll out of there with a smile on his face, like, yeah, try me. I got the Force kind of attitude. Like, I think there would be more expansion to this, and I'm excited for the future of Mandalorian. If Bad Batch can keep the same tempo as Mando like they did today, I think this would be a good doubleheader on Wednesdays. Hey, we got a badass cartoon episode and we got a badass Mando episode.
Well,
I did have a theory though. Did you notice how when he was talking to the chick with the gold helmet, the forger, whatever her fucking name is, and she was like hesitant, not really having it, and Grogu looks at her while Jin is basically talking and saying, "Hey, I want to go bathe and be redeemed." And Grogu looks at her, and then she goes, "Okay," or like, "This is the way," and like agrees with him. Part of me is like, dude, did Grogu play a mind trick on her? Because if you look, Grogu looks at her and she goes, "This is the way," and then he leans back and looks back at Mando, and Mando's like, "Sweet." Like, part of me is like, dude, did Grogu do a
Yes,
Jedi mind
do
trick?
my bidding for me.
Like, Grogu did a Jedi mind trick.
And also to fall back on what CJ was saying on the 2-year thing, you got to think about it. Navarro is like super big. Look how much they built in the, like, that's a lot of shit to be building in, you know, a couple months. So it took a lot of time to build that. So it kind of fits into the thing. Chris said if you didn't watch Boba Fett and only watch Mando, they will be confused on how Mando and Grogu got back together. That's what I mean, that's not just what Disney does. That's what George did. Because if you don't watch like all the Clone Wars, and then you come in, or like Rebels, and you come in and try to watch some of the stuff, you're going to be like, who the hell are these people? What's going on? Like, you would not know who Ahsoka Tano is if you did not watch Clone Wars. And he kind of designed it that way, and Disney's just following suit with that because that's what causes people to have to go watch the content. Somebody might not like cartoons, and they have to watch all of the Clone Wars because that's how you find out who these characters are. You know, if you've seen, like, if they bring Maul back, or, you know what I'm saying, or they show Maul in, like, the Bad Batch, or say something else, you're going to be like, I thought Maul was dead. You know, they're not going to know that Maul survived getting cut in half. You know, so they kind of designed it that way, so you have to watch everything. Even if it's something that you don't like, you still have to watch it. That's like, you know, when Garrison was talking about, you know, oh, we got to watch the toddler show. Yeah, because you never know what they're going to put in there that might pop up in another episode.
Toddler show my white ass, dude. It's dark as hell.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what it's going to be until, because you don't know what characters they're going to bring in. You don't know what's going to happen. So you have to watch everything in order to know what's going on. It's just one of those things. I mean, in all reality, it's smart marketing. That's what's going to get people watching your stuff, because you know you can't miss something. Like, I know a lot of Star Wars fans that are like completely lost because they're like, who is this Ahsoka Tano chick? Like, who is this person? Because they never watched Clone Wars. They never watched Rebels. They refuse to watch the cartoons. And then they're sitting there when people are having a conversation about Star Wars that's watched everything. They're just sitting there like, who are you guys talking about? When did this happen? Like, dude, you got to go back and watch the cartoons because they're all intertwined together. And now I think if things is going the way that I think they're going, like, a lot of people that don't read or listen to the books are going to be kind of lost, because you got to remember all the High Republic books are canon. These are canon books. And if they come out with movies and bring in characters, if they go back in time and do the High Republic movies, like I have a feeling that they're doing, then a lot of people's going to be lost about what is this happening? What's going on? Because they didn't listen to the books or didn't read the books. So people are going to be in the same position. So you just got to, that's why a real Star Wars fan is going to take in all the content that they can take in, because they know this is kind of what that they do. It's just those people that are just, oh, I'm a Star Wars fan, but you say you've never watched the Clone Wars? What do you mean you ain't never watched the Clone Wars? Or they say they're a Star Wars fan, but they've never watched none of the cartoons. Or, I mean, there's even stuff that pops up. There's been characters that popped up, and people are like, where did this character come from? And they came from like droids or droid tales, or from the Yoda shit, or they came from something else. And they're like, what is this? The only thing that was just really, really was Resistance. Like, that shit was like, oh my God.
He's like, I can't even watch that shit.
I watched it, and there's been characters that's popped up here and there, but it's so just hard to watch. but it's something that, you know, you just got to watch all the content. Even if it's something that you don't agree with or you just don't like, you still got to watch it because you don't know where these characters is going to come up and you don't know what Disney's going to use. But that's one of the things that I kind of liked about The Mandalorian at first, because it was entirely new characters. Everybody was new. You know, like, and everybody knows who Yoda is. If you don't know who Yoda is, you've been under a rock for the last 50 years. You know, if you don't know who Yoda is. So seeing Baby Yoda, it wasn't like so much of a new character, but it was one of those things that you knew who Yoda was. It just was one of those things that makes you, you know, you kind of contemplate, you know, the new characters, and it makes it good. It made it exciting. That's what made, and that's kind of what's making Andor super exciting too.
Garrison's talking shit under his fist. I swear, that's what he looks like he's doing.
No, I just got really excited because so like we have to register for classes next year, and there's one class that I need in order to graduate, but they ran out of room. Anyway, I just found out somebody dropped it, and I got his spot, so I'll
cool.
graduate. Yeah, I was just very excited.
Just the way you were doing it, you're like looking over at your wife, and it looks like you were talking
to
mad
I was like,
shit.
oh my god, I'm so happy. Yeah, sorry. Anyways.
It just looked like Garrison. Garrison, it was like so. It's like, man, if you're gonna talk shit, at least unmute the mic, bro. Come on. Hey, congrats, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's true, Chris. Infected and Star Wars team leader said they got 2 episodes in and they just can't keep going. It feels like work. It does feel like that. But at the same time, we've been lucky that they haven't brought too many characters in from Resistance. And hopefully Disney doesn't do that. But you should still watch it. I mean, they're not that good. You just got to it's only 2 seasons. You got to bear through it, because when these characters pop up, then you're going to be like, oh, shit, man, who is this person? You know, I mean, which you can always go look it up and just find out online, but it's still good to watch it. Yeah. Just like I know it's going to be held up for Garrison to watch the Tyler show, but, you know, you got to watch it.
I'll watch it. When does it come out?
I don't know.
I'll just, maybe we'll have a kid by then. We'll just try to, rush it. We'll have a kid, and then I can watch it.
KS, we have to have a kid by this date, because then I have to justify watching it.
We're doing it on the podcast, and I have to have a small child to watch
listening.
this.
She's like, "Fuck no."
In fact, it said the '80s cartoons are easier to watch. Yeah, Resistance is pretty tough to watch.
I'll watch Ewoks over Resistance.
I'm not going to put it down completely, because there's some good episodes in there, but it's just not. There's 1 in 2 seasons. And there was out of the whole 2 seasons, there was 1 that I actually liked. I was like, that's just not good. But I mean, they're not. It gets a little bit better as it gets into. It says 11:10. Do not recommend that. I don't think you can have a baby by November.
There are other ways.
You're gonna name your daughter Rey?
Oh.
Rey Skywalker.
Why you gotta be insulting like that?
Baldy's talking shit. You're gonna name your daughter Rey. But yeah, I think there's a lot of. I think we have some good content coming out. I think that they're headed in the right direction, and as long as they can keep their movies on the right page, I think in the next couple of years we're going to see a big drastic change in Star Wars, because the content, they're starting to see what content is resonating with viewers. Andor did excellent. You know, Mandalorian's doing good. So I think they're I think their books are all doing great. So I think that they're on the right direction if they just stay and they don't try to overdo it. And I think that was one of the things that was with this episode. They tried to overdo it. I agree with Garrison that it was rushed. They tried to put too much in a very short amount of time.
Bodhi thinks I'm going to name my daughter Rey. All right.
I just don't know why they just didn't do an hour long episode. Why did they do 2 30-minute episodes? Or, you know what I'm saying, when you could just put out a whole hour episode? Like, people are going to watch it. You can put out a 3-hour episode. We will watch that shit.
Yes. And I'll have to rewatch it after that because I'm gonna miss stuff.
So I don't get why they do some of the things that they do, but they got people that they pay a shit ton of money to come up with these weird concepts that they come up with. So I don't know. I'm starting to really, Jon Favreau is starting with some of his writings. I'm starting to question Jon Favreau's writings.
I'm not the only one that questions the great master.
Dave, I trust Dave. Dave is going to write
I
some
will
good
never
shit.
not trust Dave.
Dave is going to write some
I
good shit.
question both of them at times, but
Dave,
you know me.
I mean, John just be, I don't know. I think John just writes shit he likes and he don't care what nobody else thinks. And which, that's the best way to do it. That's usually how you come up with the best content. But, and you got to think, I guarantee we can all sit back here and give it a 7 and you got 500,000 people that's giving it a 10. That's just the way things go.
You got a lot of fanboys out there,
Well, it's not even that. There's a lot of, and this is something that I have noticed, that people think that just because it says Star Wars, it automatically makes it great.
Right.
And I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars, like with a fucking giant passion beyond what you could believe. Like, I almost love Star Wars as much as my kids. But I still have to be critical of the things, and I have to look at things whether or not they're good or bad.
I think just what it is, like Mandalorian, I think you said it perfectly. It has a good amount of fun with a good amount of like story to make you thinking. It's, typical kind of Disney formula, like a lot like the Avengers. A lot of fun to watch and a fair amount of story, right? Andor, meanwhile, was a lot of story, right? A lot of good in-depth story. And then you got Book of Boba Fett, which was pure fun. And I think now that we're kind of starting to see just the different shows that Disney has, we're kind of starting to see how they're just different types of shows.
Harrison is going to have a kid. He will have a boy and name
him Luthen.
Hey, Luthen's kind of a dope name.
Luthen's not a bad name. Hey.
No, I good.
Yeah, Addison's looking at you right now like I will punch you in the throat. You try to name.
Babe, what do you think about the name Luthen? She doesn't like it. Nope.
Like nobody literally names their kid Luthen.
Yeah, no, that is a really weird name.
In fact, they said, all right, guys, time to wrap up. My VGK game on starting. Just kidding. I like Star Wars more than hockey.
You're Vegas Kings, huh?
Damn, Vegas has a hockey team. I ain't kept up with hockey in years. Like, I watched like
Las
the
Vegas
first 2
Kings
episodes.
is their arena football team now.
Oh, is it arena football?
Yeah.
It says
I
It's the
think
Las
it's
Vegas
no,
Knights.
it's the Knights. The
It's
Knights
the
is
Knights.
the hockey team.
Yeah.
The Knights is the hockey team. The Kings is
I don't know about
arena
I haven't
football.
The
kept
Knights
like,
are
the
my
last time
hockey
I watched
team.
hockey was when the Avalanche first came out. I was like an Avalanche fan, and then after I went to like 2 games and didn't nobody get into a fight, I said I don't like hockey no more.
Nah,
Like, I like
watched
watching
my
hockey. I've just
Celtics
never
win,
been
so I don't
super
care.
into following it.
The Golden Knights.
Yes, that's what I said.
All right, so we all rated it. There wasn't much on news. Everything's just talking about
Mando.
I still got a
pretty
shit ton
much.
of homework like always.
So I think that we'll call it a night. We'll see you guys on Saturday.
Oh, really quick. Chris is asking what our predictions are for the season.
Not
We'll go over
doing
it on
that.
Saturday. We'll go over it on Saturday.
Cappy.
Got to keep them coming back.
They're gonna come back anyways. Chris,
There's
is
my
here.
cliffhanger.
I'm right there.
I don't know. I kind of agree with your prediction, Chris. I think that's where it's going to go. I don't know if that's going to be the entire season. I have a feeling he's either going to get to a point that he either transforms everybody into the watch, and he kind of makes everybody goes that way because he wears the dark saber, or he's gonna take off his mask again and say,
Right.
"Screw this old
Yeah,
bullshit. I'm not worried
Yeah.
about." keeping
I'm
my
calling.
mask
He
on."
finds the mask of Mandalore.
If he finds
No.
the mask of Mandalore,
He's gonna find it. He's gonna find it.
If he finds the mask of Mandalore and he has the dark saber, pretty much he just.
It's gonna happen.
He
Filoni and Favreau won't be able to help themselves. It's gonna happen. I'm telling you.
Hey, that would be a good thing though, because then Boba Fett
what
has to
everybody's
take it away
wanting.
from him if they go off the books.
All right. Well,
All right, guys. We will see you guys this Saturday. Stay outrageous, and may the force be with you.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. LightSaber Radio is produced by PicFilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Garrison Turcotte, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.